Royals baseball comes to you on another beautiful night in Kansas City, and the Royals will try to pick themselves up and dust themselves off after a heartbreaking loss to the Tigers last night. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the ballpark with Rex Hudler. I'm Ryan Lefevre. Joel and Monty will be coming up. Well, the Royals had won 3 in a row. They were playing really well. A tough one last night with the Tigers scoring 3 in the 9th inning. But the Royals are starting to put the pieces back together. They're scoring some runs. The starting rotation has done a nice job over the past week or so.
Yes.
And an old friend, good defense.
How nice it's been to see the Gold Gloves spread out over the last several years with the Royals outfielders, Alex Gordon, Salvi, Haas. You know, of course, last night's defense brought back some memories of those days. Look at Escobar. His pirouette and spin since the break. This defense has been great. Rosell out there. Alex Gordon continues to play platinum defense. Salvi, in just his second start behind the back, that was a laugher. But I tell you what, this is an exciting part of the Royals game that fans love the most.
Keith Philmeyer was also a highlight last night, and so was Brian Goodwin, who got 2 hits in his Royals debut. Getting a Ryan and Rex t-shirt.
There was a line. I saw him.
And then there's Brian Goodwin, who's new to Kansas City and asking himself, who's Ryan and Rex?
That's right. But that's a performer. That young man, in his first 2 times up as a Royal, he got base hits. One, he showed his leg speed, and the other, he just flat out used his hands and drove it. Watch this. Now, if you watch his teammates in there, watch him in the dugout. Look at them. They're all fired up for the infield hit. Now he comes up and he says, let me just go the opposite way because we know that that's what Terry Bradshaw likes. And he's showing off. Hopefully, this young man will see a lot of him, and he continues that success.
We touched on the Royals' rotation over the last 6 games. Their combined ERA is just a shade over 2. Bert Smith gets the call tonight. Joel and Monty are coming up next.
first pitch in this game and throwing that first pitch and starting for the Royals because Ian Kennedy on the disabled list right now. University of Kansas Health System injury update, strained left oblique. He went out in the Twins game, so that was a couple of weeks ago. And talking to head trainer Nick Kenny about Kennedy, he said that he's being reevaluated tonight by the team doctor, Vincent Key. And then hopefully they'll get good news for him to begin throwing. But he's been out 2 weeks, so you're looking at least a month until he can get back. Opens the door for Birch Smith. Only went 2 innings, Monty, in his last start, but there was a reason for that.
Yeah, I think if you look at his last start, which was the Sunday before the All-Star break, he just had 3 days rest before the other start that he had. He's only had 2 now in the season, so he's going to be in a really short pitch count. He only went 2 innings. I think his start before that was a little more indicative of what we should expect from him. He gave up 4 in that start. He left that game with 2 runners on base. They both ended up scoring, so line score was maybe a little damaged as a result of that. But I think if he pounds the strike zone, finds a way to get ahead, using his off pitch, occasionally pitching backwards to get ahead, he'll be just fine.
All right, so Birch Smith on the hill. Ryan and Rex have a T-shirt waiting for that Monty Fireman's relief T-shirt. How about that for a future idea? And how about this for tonight? Royals trying to do something they have never done, and that is beat Jordan Zimmerman. More coming up from Kauffman Stadium.
Lottery. Every ticket played gives back to Missouri schools. So play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. And by Chevrolet, the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. Find yours at your Kansas City area Chevy dealers. Last night, the Royals had more early scoring with a couple of runs in the first inning. Royals played excellent defense, so did the Tigers, but in the end, it was Detroit rallying late, scoring 5 runs over the last 3 innings and taking game 1. The Royals and the Tigers are coming up next. outside, 90 degrees, but nothing but blue sky overhead Kauffman Stadium as the Royals try and bounce back after the Tigers' 5-4 win last night. And here's the Tigers batting order with just a couple of changes. Nico Goodrum will be at second base tonight, and Jacoby Jones will be in left field in place of the Rule 5 left fielder last night, Victor Reyes. And the Tigers will see Bert Smith for the second time this year. He had one relief appearance, but that was way back in April in Detroit. He gave up 2 runs in an inning and 2/3. And Hud, what does he need to do against the Tigers tonight?
You know, he kind of pushes that fastball up. He needs to have success up, and that's just right at the belt with that pitch. Now, it gets hit pretty hard if it's down around thigh high. So far, opponents have hit .319 with 6 homers when it's down thigh high. Get it, keep it up. That heater, good four-seam, good spin rate on him. Forward around the horn, Royals defense, Brian Goodwin. In parts of 3 seasons with the Nationals, he's made 35 starts in center, 28 in left, and 15 in right. Nice athleticism and good speed, and we see good athletes up the middle every night here with Whitley and Escobar. The game revolves around athletes.
And he seems genuinely excited to be here with the Royals. And a nice debut last night. He is 2 for 2.
Oh,
as a member of the Royals.
One was a leg hit, the other one was clean, handsy hit to left field.
Here's Leonis Martin, who was on base a couple of times last night. And we'll see how Bert Smith does in the first inning. Last night, Martin against Philmeyer worked a game-opening walk, but then the next batter grounded into a double play, and Philmeyer was off and running. 1 ball, 1 strike. Philmeyer went 6 2/3 last night. He only gave up 3 hits. He struck out 6. The 2 runs that he allowed scored after he left the game.
That's right. Sure was impressive. Loved how he pounded down in the strike zone. Now let's see where Salvi's holding that glove. It's right where he wants it. A little bit above that. That's what we're talking about. He has success there. Bert Smith is what you call a spin rate type of pitcher, where he gets a lot of rotation on his four-seam fastball. And he kind of pushes it. He stays behind it and he pushes it up in the zone. Is successful. Gets a lot of hitters to swing and miss at it. Pop it up. He's not a ground ball pitcher. He's a fly ball pitcher.
There's the breaking ball, and it's in through the back door, and Martin is down on strikes.
Oh, nicely done. See, had him all set up, looking for heaters, good fastballs early in the count, and then he drops the hook on him. Perfect spot, too, outside corner. Martin, you got to go.
And Birch will try to continue an upward trend with the Royals starting rotation over their last 6. A collective 2.14 ERA and a 183 opponent's batting average. This is switch hitter Nico Goodrum. And Lucas Duda turns all the way around and gets it to Smith for the second out. So the defense carries over into tonight.
How many times have we raved this year about Duda and his footwork? Sure, he's got good soft hands. We've seen him pick that ball at first plenty of times, but watch his feet work here. See how he's ready? On his toes, on contact, spins around, pirouettes, perfect timing, no panic involved. Took his time. Let Bert Smith see the ball. That's so important when you're transferring it.
So that brings up Castellanos with 2 outs and nobody on. He's having an excellent year, but last night he was 0 for 4. He is the subject of our Toyota League leaders tonight. Among other things, Castellanos is in the top 4 in hits with 118. He's also in the top 4 in doubles. 1 ball and 1 strike. Top 10 in multi-hit games and extra base hits.
Gets a lot of hits to the opposite field. That's one of the reasons he's able to pile them up, hitting right at 300 coming in. You rarely see a dead pull hitter that hits 300. That's rare. It's too hard to do. Of course, nowadays they'll shift you. You'll be in big trouble if you're a dead pull, like a lot of them are.
That's a swing. Jim Wolf is the first base umpire, who I think spent some time in the weight room earlier today.
Look at Wolf. I was just going to say, man, he's all trimmed up, and it looks to me like he offered. Wolfie, real casual, you know, real casual. He's got, look at him. Look at those pythons, man. He's got some veins showing in his arms. He's yoked. His brother was a big league pitcher, left-hander for a long time.
Randy Wolf. If there was a magazine called Umpires Illustrated, I think he would make the swimsuit issue.
It's very possible. I think I'm going to make a visit to him tomorrow. We'll find out a little bit more about his workout routine.
Three balls, two strikes. Jim Wolf not only had a brother in the big leagues, Randy, but they were in the big leagues at the same time. But the rule was he could never work the plate when his brother was pitching. He could be on the crew, but he never worked home plate when his left-handed throwing brother Randy Wolf was on the mound. Still 3-2 on Castellanos.
Eighth pitch coming. Sometimes when you're up there, you may not be looking for a certain pitch, but if it's too close, you're just going to go ahead and put your bat out there and see if you can keep the at-bat alive by fouling it off.
Got him. He took something off the breaking ball, so a good start for Bert Smith as he gets the Tigers in order with a couple of strikeouts. Royals are coming up. Merrifield, Herrera, and Moustakas against Jordan Zimmerman. But the Royals still have enjoyed a spike in offense over their last 9 games. They're averaging 5 runs per game. They've hit 11 home runs during that stretch. Brian Goodwin, who made his Royals debut coming off the bench last night, gets his first start tonight in center field, and we expect to see him out there just about every day. Jordan Zimmerman will make the start for the Tigers. 32-year-old veteran in his 3rd season and his best season so far in a Tiger uniform. And Witt fouls the first pitch away.
All right, the keys for the Royals to beat him or pick out a straight one. Okay, 300 opponents average on his fastballs, but he throws a lot of off-speed pitches, especially for strikes.
That got past Adducci, a little spinner over the bag, and Witt ends up at second base with a double. His 31st of the year.
Man, the exit velo on that one probably was about 25, but it didn't matter. It was placed perfectly. First baseman Jim Adducci, he was playing in the second base hole, and that ball just had some slice and it kept spinning away from him, and he wasn't able to glove it. Whitley loved that one. It's right in front of him. You can see it.
So right away, a runner in scoring position for Rosell Herrera. And he bunts foul. Herrera had a 3-hit game last night, including a double and a run scored. It was his third 3-hit game since joining the Royals.
Rosell knows the situation. It's nobody out, runner at second. Try to advance the runner to third any way you can. Now you might try to swing, pull the ball to the right side. He's been working a lot on his bunting.
And now swinging away. He broke his bat, but that'll get the job done. Iglesias throws him out, and Witt is at third with one away.
Very productive out right there. Detroit Tigers on defense. Jacoby Jones, he's out in left field. He was the Tigers winner of the 2018 Heart and Hustle Award, and that award honors active players who demonstrate a passion for the game of baseball and best embodies the values, spirit, and traditions of the game. Congratulations to him.
And he has done very well in his short career against the Royals. Tigers will bring the infield in about halfway on Mike Moustakas with a runner at third and one out. And this was an issue for the Royals last night, and their inability to just run away from the Tigers on offense, getting runners in from third. And no problem tonight. That is deep to right field, and that is worth 2. That'll get him in. And Mike Moustakas hits his 20th of the year.
Oh man, this is in grand fashion too. Breaking ball down the zone, 83. It's almost like Moose knew it was coming. That's a spinner. It's out over the middle of the plate. Catches the back underside. That ball left in a hurry. So get him on, get him over, get him in. How about both of them in?
And now Salvador Perez hits a laser out to center field, but Martin is there. Mike Moustakas, we just showed you, with his 4th 20 home run season, and that puts him in an elite category in Royals history. He is one of just 7 Royals now with 4 or more 20 home run seasons. George Brett, Mike Sweeney, John Mayberry, Carlos Beltran, Steve Balboni, and Bo Jackson. And now Mike Moustakas.
Congratulations, Moose. That's a great list of names.
And let's take another look. StatCast powered by AWS.
Okay, 100.1 exit velo. Had just enough launch angle, 26 degrees. That got it done.
One ball and 1 strike on Lucas Duda. He drove in the 2 runs in the first inning last night with a line shot right by Francisco Liriano's ear. The Royals, despite their offensive troubles at times, have thrived in the first inning, and so has Lucas Duda. Got the call. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Duda's a .250 hitter overall, but in the first inning he hits .360, and 14 of his 33 RBIs have come in the first inning.
Get him up early.
Our Kubota power stats. Duda has driven in 7 during his 5-game hitting streak. And he's on with a 2-out walk.
When you've got a little streak going, which, you know, 5 games, most players that have that streak aren't going to worry about that. But, you know, seeing many pitches, getting that first hit out of the way is always crucial. But a walk, that's nice, seeing the ball.
Jorge Bonifacio last night had a double and a run scored. Also was on with a walk. Got his on base percentage up over 350. 100 points higher than his batting average. So, finding ways to get on base.
64 at bats. This is the 65th right now in his season. Missed the first half due to a suspension, and so this is, you know, early for him. He played a lot of ball while he was out, and he was done. But you know what? There's nothing like facing big league pitching. It's going to take him a few more to get really locked in. Although he looks pretty good, hitting a clean 250.
One and 2. Edios has bounced him around the batting order. He had appeared to be his number 2 hitter, and Ned toward the end of the first half described the number 2 spot in his batting order as kind of a black hole this year. Gotten some production from his leadoff man, from his number 3, number 4 hitters. And Bonifacio is down on strike, so Zimmerman closes out the first with a strikeout, but Mike Moustakas hits number 20, driving in Whit Merrifield, and once again the Royals score in the first.
His 20th home run, top of the 2nd inning. Students, join us at the K every Wednesday for a new low price of just $5 with your student ID. Plus, enjoy a happy hour special at the Boulevard Grill concession stand as you listen to local live music on the Outfield Experience stage before the game. Come check out our next local band. Run with it tomorrow. Visit Royals.com/student-night for the full list of bands and for tickets.
Tomorrow's a student day.
You're right.
which both teams appreciate. They have flights into the Eastern time zone after the game. The Tigers are here for 3 and then they go right back home. The Royals begin an 11-day road trip through New York, Minnesota, and Chicago.
Long one.
Good changeup. 1-2 on Jamer Candelario. He led off that fateful 3-run 9th inning last night against Brandon Maurer with a broken bat bloop single to center. He is out in a ground ball to Merrifield, and Bert Smith has set down the first 4 tonight. Bert Smith is going for his first big league win since 2013 when he was pitching for the Padres. That was against the Braves. So he's the rare Rule 5 player that already has some big league experience. One down to Victor Martinez. Duda off his glove and still almost had time to get Martinez. It's an error on Duda, and Martinez is on with 1 out.
If that play was done over again, Whitley would have whistled or yelled, "I got it," and just taken it. Took a funny hop at the end on Lucas, but got aggressive on the play. There's not a lot of speed there by Martinez. Just Duda's second error of the year.
And that'll bring up Jim Adducci. He had the game tying double in the 9th inning and then scored the go ahead run. Another ground ball. Duda gets another chance. He gets the lead runner and no throw back. So 2 down and a runner at first.
I know a lot of first basemen that would have picked that ball up and just taken the out in front of him. But Lucas and the rest of his infielders, they work 4 or 5 days a week on plays like this. He spins and fires. He's a very confident first baseman and accomplished. He's got great footwork and he pays attention to detail. Very impressed.
James McCann had the game-winning RBI last night. Doubled against Jason Hamill in the 9th inning, driving in Adducci, who gets back to the bag in time. Tigers opened that 9th inning last night with 4 straight hits, including 3 consecutive doubles. That caught the inside corner. 0-1. They're going through offensively what the Royals went through beginning on June 1st until the 2nd week of July. They are averaging just a fraction over 3 runs per game in their last 29 games. That's the lowest in the American League over that stretch. And they've lost 22 out of 29 during that stretch. So it's probably both thrilling and surprising for them to get 3 in the 9th. Ron Gardenhire in his first year with the Tigers. 1,111 career wins, the 8th most among active managers. Right behind Ned Yost. Struck him out on 3 pitches. Bert Smith has struck out 3 in 2 scoreless innings. Royals shirt and his Tigers hat.
He's got it covered.
Yeah. Here's our Kia drive to success. And success is a good word in describing Jordan Zimmermann in his career against the Royals. When you're talking about pitchers who have made 6 or more starts against the Royals, Jordan Zimmermann has the second lowest ERA. That was coming into tonight. Chad Auger, who pitched for the Indians, had a 1.08 ERA. And the home run that Mike Moustakas hit in the first inning is the Royals' first against Zimmermann in over 43 innings.
Yeah, he seems to pitch really well, especially here in this ballpark. Got a 4-0 record in the 6 starts. It's been tough. And
he has never allowed more than 2 runs in a start against the Royals.
So unusual, too. The pitch that Moose hit certainly was not a mistake. That was a great piece of hitting on a low slider.
Alex was not in the lineup against Liriano last night, but entered the game in the 8th inning. Had 1 at bat. 3 balls, 1 strike. Alex over the weekend against Minnesota got that 500th extra base hit. And now he can start working on where he ranks in home runs in Royals history. So far, it has been a pitcher-friendly strike zone. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
McCann sitting up there on the outside part of the plate made it look even better than it was.
Home plate umpire is Sam Holbrook. He's also the crew chief. And Zimmermann, given another chance, ends up with a strikeout, getting Alex to chase a slider.
Perfect location, down and out of the zone.
Tigers signed Jordan Zimmermann to an enormous contract, over $100 million. His first year was so-so, and he dealt with a lot of injuries. But last year, his ERA was over 6. So that contract looked like a bust, but he has bounced back this year. He has been mostly healthy. Spent a little bit of time on the disabled list back in May with a right shoulder issue. But in particular, he has been really, really good in his last 7 starts. And he's 0-2 on Brian Goodwin. Puts the ball in play with 2 strikes. Zimmermann throws him out, and there are 2 down. Be very easy for Tigers fans early this season to say, here we go again with Zimmermann. But he started the year with a sore shoulder, and after his first 5 starts, his ERA was almost 8. But then he came back, and that ERA over that stretch is second lowest in the big leagues to Jacob deGrom. So he is a pitcher on a roll coming into tonight.
Yep, and I talked to his pitching coach, Rick Anderson, and also McCann, the catcher, today about why did he get off to such a tough start, and why is he better? And they both said that commanding his fastball is one thing, but his secondary pitches have been really good. He's able to command those and put them right where he wants them. And so far, you notice now after this second inning, or after the first inning, he is really commanding all of his pitches where he wants it, right around that zone. McCann was telling me his fastball is important to set the other ones up. Look at everything outside of the middle of the zone.
3 up, 3 down with a couple of strikeouts, and at the end of 2, the Royals lead 2-0.
at first base, and we saw him, yes, make the very rare error, but then turn around and make a good play. And we saw him put on a defensive clinic over the weekend. Talking to infield coach Mike Jershely, he talked about how some of those late plays in the games over the weekend against the Twins may have saved them some wins. And he said that Duda works so hard out there every day, much better fielder than people may give him credit for. But he says he is out there taking ground balls and working on the difficult plays every day. He said really the only thing you have to worry about with Duda, especially with that foot not quite at 100%, is to back him off a little bit so he doesn't do too much. And Ryan, you'll appreciate this one. It had the defense story on Duda all set to go today, and then he makes only a second error of the year. Amos Otis told me over the weekend that back in the 70s, Denny bugged him for weeks to do a story about an errorless streak. He finally did the interview and went on to make an error in the first inning. He said he didn't talk to Denny for months.
You remember Jeremy Giambi?
Yes.
Jason's younger brother who played for the Royals?
Very well.
Jeremy Giambi used to say that I was an automatic 0 for 4.
You were?
He did.
Oh.
Now, he was always very nice to me, and I didn't have him on the pregame show a whole lot.
Right.
But I was a guaranteed 0 for 4.
Oh.
No T-shirt for Jeremy.
No. Although he'd take one now.
Glacius hits it up into the upper deck. Nice crowd here on a Tuesday night.
John Jay, okay, new to the team this year.
Yeah.
You know, and I always admired him and his work habits and how he would run around the bases, how he'd take perfect routes in the outfield. And he said after about 2 months, "Can you stay away from me, please?" And I said, "Wow, what's the deal?" And I smelled both my armpits. Well, what the heck? And he goes, "I don't need you to be saying all these nice, kind things to me all the time." And I said, "Okay, hey, look, no big deal. I'll leave you alone." But you know, players are like that. They're a little bit locked into their own world, and we're there every day, and we want to talk to them. We want to give them information and get information so we can share with our audience. That's just kind of how it goes.
Worried about some sort of a jinx.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Here's Jacoby Jones with 1 out. He came on as a pinch runner in the 9th inning last night and ended up scoring the game-tying run. Holtze looked it up. Jeremy Giambi went 0 for 4 51 times in his career. And I can tell you, I did not have him on the pregame show 51 times.
Wasn't all
maybe
your fault.
3.
Yep. Wasn't all you.
Yep. Thank you, Holtze.
There's that high heater. Okay. Oh, looked like he might have went. That's a good one to finish him off. Bert Smith doing a nice job. I like his tempo. His tempo looks good. His delivery fluid. Did he go? Yep. Sure did. Got away with one. Salvi, high target. There it is again. That's a good spot. Just what we're talking about before the game. Keep it above that belt. With that kind of pushes it. The target, see how his almost appears to rise. Pushes up underneath it.
And when you say that's the difference between a pitcher where you say he's got to get the ball down versus a guy like Smith where you want him to pitch up,
yep,
is how long does that pitcher maintain his velocity?
That's important. And you know, so I was talking with Whitley a little bit today about both starting pitchers today, and he told me the fact that Birch is a spin rate guy, and I didn't think. I'm thinking spin rate, that's a breaking ball. He was talking about his fastball and how he's a spin rate guy that has more success up than he does down.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
Young man getting an opportunity, making the most of it. That changeup's been his out pitch, though. 231 opponent average. It's good. Has some movement into the righty and away to the lefty.
Got him to chase one down and out of the strike zone, and Birch has struck out 4 in 2 2/3 innings.
Jones was looking heater and just was put in a good place.
Thing just disappeared on him.
Sure did.
So first time through, Tigers have one base runner, and that was on an error. Everything has either been on the ground or a strikeout. Martin took a called third strike on a pitch like that to begin the ball game. Back with a good changeup. Changeup with movement. That pitch was just fading away from Martin.
Just talked about that being one of his best pitches, and that's the movement. It's even more effective against left-handed hitters. It's going away. Tougher to hit that ball and square it up.
Leonis Martin, one-time big prospect with the Texas Rangers, then on to the Mariners, and now with the Tigers. Got him to chase the changeup again, so make it 5 strikeouts in 3 scoreless innings for Bert Smith.
Oh, Birch, he's working.
Holding Buck's book. I was right on time. This is Barbara Cortion, and she's been making a big difference in the KC community. As a current board member of the Truman Heartland Community Foundation, Barbara is the chair for the Older Adults Transportation and Mobility Committee. Barbara also chairs the Church Council at Christ United Methodist Church, and has been most recently joined the foundation board of the Mid-Continent Public Library, and sitting in the Buck O'Neil legacy seat tonight and enjoying a Royals early 2-0 lead.
Barbara, making a difference is exactly what you're doing. Way to go.
Second time through for the Royals, and Whit Merrifield cued one off the end of his bat in the first inning and hit a ground ball that was spinning and whistling and went over first base for a double, and then he scored on the Mike Moustakas 2-run home run.
He was talking to it the whole way. See if we can get an exit velocity on that one.
Hits that one hard, and going back awkwardly, but making the catch is Castellanos. And that's baseball. You squirt one off the end of the bat and you get a double, and then you hit one right on the nose and make an out. So it's Rosel Herrera with one out. And remember, if the Royals hit a triple in tonight's game, the Kansas City Honda dealers will make a $1,000 donation to the KC Urban Youth Academy. it out, but it was a productive out in the first inning. He got Merrifield from second to third, and then Witt came home on the home run. And a base hit to left field. Herrera this year with the Royals and the Reds combined is hitting a little over 250, but you put him in Kauffman Stadium and he's hitting over 330.
Elevation on the outer half. Exactly what you want to do. Hit it where it's pitched. Good swing. Just kept his hands inside the ball.
So there's one reason why he's becoming a fan favorite here. Mike Moustakas takes a strike. Here's his 20th home run of the year in the first inning.
Slider out over the plate, but it was down. Caught it just right.
Hey, no more, Gordon.
Ooh, we heard that pretty clear.
Sounded like no more Gordon.
Yep.
That's very rare for Alex to be chewing on an umpire.
Well, and interesting how umpires know voices and who's upset.
Well, Alex, remember, was ahead 3-1, and the pitch, at least according to the grid, was outside, so it made it 3-2, and then Alex struck out.
Rosie's got one steal. He's been caught 3 times, and be a little bit careful over there with Moose up, and he might be going. Zimmerman, oh yeah, he was trying to get an extra big jump there. Too bad Zimmerman didn't go home, because Rosie was guessing, and because you just want to stay out of a double play is the reason he'd be running him. Watch this, he's trying to get one early, but he stopped in time and somebody yelled at Zimmerman. Torrey Hunter was one of the best I've ever seen at taking the jump and leaving early before the pitcher even went home, kind of like Rosie did.
Well, some pitchers are very predictable. I mean, they have the same pace, so in your mind you can say 1/1000, 2/1000, 3. That's when you go, and they'll do that every time. But every now and then a veteran like Zimmerman will vary his time to the plate.
Yeah, and those are some of the pitchers that don't think too much about the base runners, so they get into their own little patterns. Torrey Hunter had 195 career stolen bases. Zimmerman, quick feet, got a good move over there. They're paying a lot of attention to Herrera. McCann has thrown out 30% of would-be base stealers this year. That's a great mark. Anything 30% or higher is really good.
2-2. And now Moustakas asked for time as Zimmerman came set and held. So right now Zimmerman is more concerned with Herrera over at first, and that's good news for Mike Moustakas.
Sure is. Anything to distract you from that making a pitch, it could hurt you.
Not running, and a fastball is inside. 3-2. Remember, someone, pitching coach, heard him say years and years ago that a pitcher needs to be either 100% committed to trying to pick the runner off at first or 100% committed to making a pitch. It's the 50-50 that gets you killed when you're trying to manage both at the same time. Herrera runs and Moustakas pulls it over to Aducci. So it's an out, but it puts Herrera in scoring position for Salvador Perez.
There you go. Keep out of the double play. Get him in scoring position. See if Salvi can knock him in.
And Salvi had one of the hardest hit balls in the game so far when he lined out to Martin in center field in the first inning. And that was on a first pitch from Zimmerman. 108 miles an hour off of Salvi's bat. This time Zimmerman goes with a first pitch slider. 0-1. Salvi goes the other way with the overshift. Here's Herrera around third. Castellanos does not make a strong throw to the plate. And the Royals have not only been scoring on this homestand, but they have been scoring a lot of runs with 2 outs. It is 3-0 in the third inning.
Well, one of the reasons is Ned Yost is moving his runners more. Early in the season, we hit into the most double plays of any team in baseball. That had to change. And look at that swing there. That's perfect. The hole wide open. That's the Salvador Perez that wants to be the run producer. That wants to hit for a higher average. And so the fact that he's moving his runners kept him out of that double play there with Moustakas hitting one on the ground. So Ned moving his runners has really improved and helped the team when it comes to lane ball killers.
And now Duda hits a bullet off the tarp. There's really been no gray area tonight. Either Zimmerman is striking somebody out, or the Royals are hitting a line drive somewhere. Duda worked a walk in the first inning. Down to the count, 0-2. Still no balls, 2 strikes. Alex will get another chance to be reunited with Sam Holbrook.
Better be swinging.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Duda's been using the opposite field a lot more, and that's keeping him leery of that pitch inside here. So he's able to turn on that ball. He's hit a few of those out of the park too. But it's the fact that he's going to the opposite field is seeing the ball longer. And one of the reasons why he's on a little 5-game hitting streak. He'd like to keep it going to 6. Behind the count, 1-2. A lot of holes in that left side of the infield.
And Zimmerman strikes out his 4th, but the Royals get another run, another 2-out run. The Royals have scored 22 runs on this homestand, 14 with 2 outs.
Nice. George Smith tonight is taking the advantage of an opportunity to start, just like the previous rookies have been before him. He's taking advantage, looking good. He's using the bottom part of the zone with his breaking stuff, upper part with that four-seam fastball we talked about in the open of our show. He's having success.
Ball 1-2, Nico Goodrum. No hits, no walks. The only base runner for the Tigers. Victor Martinez reached on an error in the second inning, and he has already struck out 5. 1-1 on Goodrum.
Look at that pretty glove right there, huh? It's got his name on there, written in cursive. That's beautiful. You're a big leaguer, you can have that. Of course, nowadays any kid could get that if he really wanted it, order one like that. But these big leaguers, they're well taken care of, especially by Rawlings. That's beautiful.
Two balls, 2 strikes. That used to be exclusive to big leaguers, right? Get your name on your glove, names on your bats.
Yeah, yeah, and that really makes you feel pretty cool. Ooh, man, good swing.
Here's the first base hit for the Tigers. Goodrum hit the ball hard twice. But that's his first hit, and he's on to begin the 4th inning.
Goodrum has extreme upside. Mo lottery replay shows it. Ball was elevated as a breaking ball, and it sped his bat up, and he tagged it. Good one. He's a switch hitter. He can play all over the field. A lot like his teammate Jacoby Jones. Both stellar athletes.
Castellanos struck out on a curveball in the first inning. Remember, we saw Goodrum's big league debut last year with Minnesota, and he paid his dues. He was a big prospect at one time. He was a 2nd-round pick in 2010, but he didn't get to the big leagues until his 8th professional season.
Yeah, you know, sometimes it takes a while for some players to develop, but once he's here now, he's 6'4", 190, 200 pounds, perfect body, but he can play anywhere. He's playing second base tonight, but some say center field could be his best spot.
First 3 series between the two teams, Dixon Machado was mostly playing at second base, and Goodrum was coming off the bench. Remember, he made a critical error at first base, helping the Royals win a game in Detroit. And since then, he's been their regular second baseman. Castellanos hits it into the crowd. 0-2.
Fastball beat him right there. That's a good spot for it. 0-2. Let's see what he can finish him with a slider out of the zone. Castellanos, not a shabby athlete either. The Detroit Tigers, they're in a little rebuild, but they're going about it the right way. You win with athletes. It just takes some time. That's going to hurt him.
That is foul by a foot.
Perfect. That would have scored Goodrum, who was flying around the bases. That would have scored him with no problem.
Helmet came off his head.
He's moving. I mean, I thought that was going to sit down there just pretty, and so did Castellanos. Goodrum, he'll steal. He's got 7 steals out of 8 opportunities.
Doesn't have a very threatening lead over there. Not running. And it's 1-2 on Castellanos. Shallow right. Witt is out and into foul territory for the first out.
Parents and grandparents, it's not too late to purchase the perfect gift for your young Royals fans. Purchase the 2018 Sluggers Blue Crew box for just $30. Membership includes a jersey, flat bill cap, drawstring bag, 2 compression sleeves, 2 home game ticket vouchers, and much more. Sign up now at royals.com/Blue Crew. Be a member.
We just signed the boys up. They got their stuff this week.
Did you?
It's a lot of stuff, let me tell you.
Nice.
I mean, we highlight the main ingredients, but it is a box full of goodies.
It's so fun when we pull up. It's a great deal. When we pull up at the airport and when I see your boys outside on the other side of the fence, they got their balls and they're out there playing, their bats, they're in that parking lot going at it.
Just wait next time we come home. They'll have their jerseys and their hats and their compression sleeves. I mean,
that's awesome, man. I'm glad they're in. They're in the club.
As my 8-year-old Micah says, this is legit. And then asked me, what does legit mean? He knew that it fit there, but wasn't exactly sure what he was saying.
That's great.
1-0 on Candelario. He grounded out to second in the second inning. Two balls, no strikes. It's interesting. Maybe you can identify what this is. Just the way Goodrum goes back. You know, a lot of runners, when they lead off and they go back, they kind of get in a lower position. He goes in very high.
Yeah, he's
almost awkwardly back into first base.
You could tell that he's not comfortable diving back, and some guys aren't. And a guy with extremely quick feet like he has, or is able to get back with no trouble, but any way he can.
And you go in really tall, you're helping the first baseman out. He's got a lot of places to tag you out.
It does look a little awkward. But he's in a comfortable spot, and a lot of guys don't have to get, you know, a 12, 13-foot lead to steal a base. He's going.
Swung on and missed, and he is out.
Oh, nice.
Quick tag by Escobar. Second base umpire DJ Rayburn is going to rule that Esky got the tag on the back before Goodrum's hand hit the bag.
Just add to Salvador Perez's record of over 41% now of throwing runners out. This is beautiful. Great transfer. Pop time down. Escobar slapping the tag on him. That's huge. Yeah, that's a good tag. And a good position. See how he's straddling the base right there? That's the ideal spot for a second baseman or shortstop to be when you're applying the tag. Good job by Escobar being in the right spot, but just bringing that tag straight down, and I don't care if you bruise him in the back, get the tag on him.
And a good call by DJ Rayburn.
Slap it down there. Get him out of there.
Candelario, that ball's going to carry to right field. Herrera at the wall has just enough room to end the inning. So the Tigers have one hit. That's it against Bert Smith in 4 innings. Smith has struck out 5. Royals baseball on Fox Sports Kansas City is brought to you by Jeep, the official vehicles of summer. And a great summer night at Kauffman Stadium. 1983 on this date, the infamous Pine Tar game. George Brett came storming out against a young umpire named Tim McClellan, thinking that he had been ejected for his bat being corked. Yeah. But the ruling at the time was that he had too much pine tar on his bat, which was not legal. And then the American League got involved and ruled that the umpires should not have taken the home run away from George Brett.
Yeah, at that particular moment, he wasn't exactly sure what they were doing, but he was not happy, obviously.
One of the best parts about that story, I mean, for most fans, they remember George Brett coming out of the dugout. But the entertaining part of it is that when the American League overruled the umpires, they had to go back and finish that game because the Yankees had closed out that win. And George had been ejected, so he didn't even leave the team playing. And Billy Martin kind of made a joke out of it. He had pitchers playing the outfield, and Don Mattingly was an infielder somewhere, and
Gator was in center, I think.
Three balls and no strikes on Alex, who was at odds with home plate umpire Sam Holbrook last time he was up.
Really outstanding hand position. Hand position is locked and loaded. And George had a little flamingo in him. He had a little bit of leg kick when he's loading up. The hand stayed back. That's the whole key. When they try to throw that breaking ball to you, they're in good hitting position. And the foot comes down, but the hands are still back. You can rake like he could.
Even have the taped hands.
Yeah,
part of the statue.
Yeah, pictures, those statues, it tells a lot about a hitter.
Alex swings at the 3-1 pitch this time. That was the pitch that he had a problem with the first time he was up.
Well, 3-2 here. Any borderline pitch might be hacking. See what they put down. Usually means fastball.
Zimmerman got Alex with a slider in the second inning. Sharply hit. Goodrum falls to a knee, and there are two down. I think my favorite part of the Pine Tar story in the makeup game was that Billy Martin, and you were around Billy Martin, he had a way of outthinking people. And so there was a lot of time in between the American League's ruling and making up the game. So everyone kind of came together and thought, what's Billy Martin going to try and do? And someone said, you know what? He's going to appeal that George Brett missed bases when he was rounding the bases. There was a different umpiring crew from the makeup game than the original game. So the umpiring crew for the makeup game had signed affidavits, legal affidavits from the original umpiring crew saying that George did not miss any bases. Sure enough, that's something that Billy Martin did. He appealed all the bases, and then he came out and argued and said, well, how do you know? You weren't even here. Oh. And they pulled out the signed affidavits from the other umpiring crew.
They had one up on it.
They were one up on him that time. They knew where he was going.
That's a great part of the story. I agree. I was hoping you'd tell it.
0-2 on Goodrum. He grounded back to Zimmerman in the second inning. And on an 0-2 pitch, he goes the other way. Brian Goodwin is 3 out of 4 as a Royal.
And 2 of those just like that to the opposite field. That's nice to see. A guy's trying to just wait on the ball and get some singles until the power comes. He's got some pop. Last year hit 13 homers.
Escobar was down on a slider in the second inning.
Might be he'll attempt to steal a base here. He was 3 out of 4 in the National League for the Nationals. And 9 out of 10 in his career.
You know, sometimes we can make, you know, something out of nothing. And you and I were talking on the broadcast last night. You know, on paper, this is a great situation for Goodwin, but he's coming to a new organization. You know, he's only been a member of the Washington Nationals. He's going to get a great opportunity here. But then all of a sudden, you show up, you have a new uniform. You didn't really know anybody. And it, you know, it can hit you. And I asked Ned, you were sitting next to me during the pregame interview. Yep. So what do you try and say to a guy that's coming into a new situation like this? Typical Ned says, "Hi."
Yes.
Okay.
No, but I liked what he continued to say was, look, a team that trades for you wants you, and you're a valuable piece of property for them. It's nice to be wanted. Didn't get a chance to play. Wasn't getting that opportunity in Washington.
There he goes. And Eske hits a bullet into center field. Goodwin will keep running. First and third. And another chance for the Royals to get a run with 2 outs.
But talking about those 2-out rallies with RBIs, clutch base hits, those break the opponent's back. Nice to see the Royals getting back in that category. I believe he had stolen the base. He's able to pick it up. Quick steps, good athlete. Witt, 286 hitter with a runner in scoring position. Might want to try to find the same hole right up that middle.
Takes a fastball for a strike. Witt has a squib double and a line out to right field. He has hit a lot of line drives over the past month. Batting average at the moment is right at 300. That'll be out of play. Nice catch by a young guy who brought his glove. Over the last month, only Leury Garcia, and there might be fans around the country going, who? But we've seen Leury Garcia swing the bat well against the Royals, but only Leury Garcia has a higher line drive rate than Whit Merrifield. Over the past month, Nico Goodrum was on that list. Now Escobar runs, and that pitch is in the dirt. And now there are 2 in scoring position for Witt.
That's right. Good jump, good takeaway. Ball's in the dirt. Best one to run
On this homestand, and this is game number 5, the Royals have scored 22 runs, 14 have come with 2 outs, including 1 tonight.
Look at that 2-out numbers there. Those are nice.
Gracias over to first in time, so not in this inning. The Royals strand 2, and at the end of 4, the Royals lead 3-0. Baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. This is Starling Marte in Cleveland hitting a 2-run home run. And the Pittsburgh Pirates are in search of their 11th victory in a row. They've won 10 straight. They have picked up 5.5 games in the Central. Before the streak, they were in 4th, but they have passed the Cardinals. And now 4.5 back of Milwaukee for 2nd place.
How about them? Best streak and hottest team in baseball by far.
It is now 9-2 in the top of the 8th. Victor Martinez will lead off the 5th inning against Bert Smith. Ned Yost, similar to Heath Fillmyer last night, talked about Bert Smith going about 75-80 pitches or so. So he's in good shape. 57 pitches as he begins the 5th inning. (2-0) on Martinez. He reached on an error. First time up. 28-year-old Bert Smith. So he's 6 years older than the Royals' other Rule 5, Brad Keller. And it's rare that a Rule 5 guy is older than, say, Brad Keller, being 22, 23. It's rare for a guy to be 28, and rare for a Rule 5 guy to have some major league experience. Stockis goes out from 3rd and makes the play.
Gordo Nation is back. Cheer on everyone's favorite Gold Glover, Alex Gordon, in his reserve fan section. That's right. Tickets are just $35. Include your seat in left field, a Gordo big head, and a premium Gordo Nation shirt. Don't miss a chance to cheer on Gordo every Thursday home game. Get your tickets now, folks, at Royals.com/theme tickets. It's popular. Good t-shirt right there, too, in action. I don't know if it's quite as nice as the t-shirt they gave away tonight, but it's a good one.
One strike on Jim Adducci. 1 ball, 1 strike. Adducci reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning. So last night I gave you the assignment, having talked about how long Jim Adducci spent in the minor leagues before getting to the big leagues about 5 years ago. And did you go down and meet him?
I did. I took your advice and I went down and I did exactly what you told me. You said give him a hug because you're a 10-year minor leaguer too. So I walked down their steps at their dugout to go into their locker room, and guess who's walking up the steps? Jim Adducci. And I went, wow, you're the guy I was looking for. I said, how you doing? And I hugged him, and he kind of went stiff on me. He went stiff on me, and I said, hey, look, I gave you a hug because I'm a 10-year minor leaguer too. And then he totally got it. And he goes, wow. He goes, you did? I said, yeah, man, I'm so proud of you, but you didn't get your, as he pops up there, you didn't get your cup of coffee till after your 10 years. And so we had a conversation. He talked about playing ball in Korea for a couple of years, and it was very interesting. Now he's my new buddy.
I knew you guys would hit it off.
Man, it's interesting, his path.
Did he tell you about his dad?
He did. He said his dad helps him a lot. You know,
his dad had a 10-year career that was, he had what, 70 games in the big leagues over 10 years?
Right. And so his dad has guided him, and the biggest advice that he's given his son: smell the roses and enjoy every single day you can while you're there.
Rosell Herrera is there, and he goes into a slide and makes the play to help out Bert Smith to 5 scoreless innings. And now here he comes sprinting to the dugout. Of course, he'll be leading off the next inning.
Nicely done.
baseball, but certainly for the Detroit Tigers, as two former Tigers, Jack Morris and Alan Trammell, going into the Hall of Fame on Sunday. Trammell, a 6-time All-Star, the '84 World Series MVP. Jack Morris, those are incredible stats. The one that I like the most, we'll never see it in this generation, 175 career complete games, 3-time world champion for 3 different teams, and that epic 10-inning performance for the Minnesota Twins. Guys, I had a chance to talk to their former teammate who's here in the house, Kirk Gibson, and what he said about those two guys and their '84 World Championship team. He said, we were so talented, we were tenacious, we didn't have a team of stars, but we pushed each other, we governed each other, we had great leadership in Sparky Anderson, and he said those two guys hated to lose. They despised to lose. If Jack Morris gave up 6 runs in the first, they gave him a hard time, and he came in so mad, he said, get me 10 runs and we'll win this game. He never quit. And in Trammell, Gibson said, he's a guy that was a good athlete, a great teammate, and knowledgeable about everything in sports, including history to this day. And he is so excited about those two former teammates heading into the Hall of Fame.
Wow, way to go, Joel. I had a chance to talk to Gibson too, but that what you did in your pregame show today, showing some highlights of their career, that was riveting. I got a little emotional watching it, as a matter of fact. But Gibson, or excuse me, Gibby told me before the game, he goes, I asked him, are you going? He said, absolutely. Me and a bunch of our ex-teammates were all going this weekend. Wouldn't miss it. We're looking forward to it. He said, it's about time somebody from the '84 team became a Hall of Famer. 2 of them now.
He went wire to wire, right?
Yep, Gibby's really proud.
Well, apparently that leads into our sprint trivia question for tonight. Alan Trammell is one of 4 shortstops since 1980 with 7 or more seasons batting 300 or better. So 3 others had 3 shortstops since 1980 with 7 or more seasons hitting 300 or better.
Okay. Well, didn't Nomar win a batting title? So he hit close to 300. That's just, I'm not guessing him. I'm just using him as one of my guesses, maybe one of our guesses.
Okay.
Nomar.
Jeter, did he have?
Good guess. Absolutely.
We'll put him down for now.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Or Alex Rodriguez was a shortstop for a long time.
Like him too. Put him down there.
2-2 on Mike Moustakas. He had a 2-run home run in the first inning, his 20th of the year. The guy that we always forget, Hanley Ramirez.
That's right.
Watch it into the dugout suite. Uh-oh.
Watch it in there.
Are you all right?
A lot of ricocheting in there too.
Yep.
If it hits that back wall, it's cement. Moose going the other way.
What about Cal? No. No.
Cal, I think he's probably 270, 280 career hitter, maybe. No. It's 300 individual seasons.
7 different seasons of 300 or better.
I don't think Junior's on there. He might be though. That's a good guess. He didn't run a whole lot. You know, he wasn't real quick. He hit most of his average.
Nice play by Candelario.
Wouldn't you know it? That's a little bit of buzzard luck there.
Very nice Tuesday evening crowd. 3-0 Royals, bottom of the 5th inning. Salvador Perez drove in the 3rd run with 2 down in the 3rd inning. His out was a line out to center field. Robin Yount. Oh, deep to left field, sinking and into the first row. He just got it over the railing. And after going 42 innings without a home run against Jordan Zimmerman, the Royals have 2 tonight, and Salvi's is our Jeep drive of the game.
Oh, and he got it fully extended. That ball had topspin on it. I mean, it was sinking down in a hurry over that wall. 15th homer on the year. That was nicely done. Another 2-out RBI.
So 15 out of the Royals' 23 runs on this homestand have come with 2 outs.
This ball was roped, they say. 103 exit velo, 23 launch angle, pretty low. Just enough. 362. Fans giving high fives all around. Good catch.
One ball, 2 strikes. Kind of locked in on our trivia question, Hud.
I like it. I think we're
about
get it.
Barry Larkin.
I like that a lot. Barry Larkin.
And 2 guys who really became good hitters later in their careers, where you can knock the bat out of their hands early on. Ooh, Duda lines out to Goodrum to end the inning. Omar Vizquel and Ozzie Smith.
Ooh, man. I think we got it all corralled. Ooh-wee. Frozen rope.
Well, at the end of 5 last night, the Royals led 3-0. And now they lead 4-0 tonight. Salvador Perez is homered. Mike Moustakas is homered. Salvi's also has an RBI single, so those 2 have driven in the Royals' runs. And now Salvi gets a chance on a pop-up. Makes a 2-hand grab. Keep an eye on that, kids. 1 down.
That's right. Good teaching moment there. But while we're at it, and teed it up just perfectly. Salvador Perez, congratulations. He is the Royals winner of the Heart and Hustle Award. I talked about that with Jacoby Jones, who's playing their left field today. Talked about the award. Active players who demonstrate passion for the game. Salvi does that. Values and spirit and traditions of the game. And you know, the award, Rhino, is really important. It's the only award in Major League Baseball that's voted on by former players. And that's fun. I get to vote once a year. American League, National League, and for your team, really. They want to know your team. Because you know, we know our teams pretty well. And that's really a prestigious award. Players are honored to get it. That and the Roberto Clemente Award are coveted awards for players that really tells a lot about the player.
One and two on Jacoby Jones. Bert Smith has thrown 72 pitches, and there's nobody warming up in the Royals bullpen. And I guess why should they be? He has retired 6 in a row and 11 of the last 12. Similar to Phil Meyer, who really got in a roll last night, and at one point Phil Meyer set down 15 in a row. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Jones. There's Heath, who followed up Brad Keller's performance at the gym last night.
So good. And so, you know, one of the things that I'm sensing, which is good, we haven't, you know, had a lot of wins this year, especially back-to-back, is the competition internally between the pitchers, the starting pitchers. They're starting to compete. They're all young, most of them, you know. Smith, you know, Junis, Keller, Phil Meyer now, and you know, of course, Duffy's in there, but they're all saying, okay, here's what I did. What do you got? So that's called a baton passing type of situation where they have internal competition, which is good for everyone. Another nice inning.
So he's set down 13 of the last 14. Don't forget about the Grand Slam pack available at Price Chopper. It's a great deal for the family. 4 View Reserve tickets and 4 Royals caps, all for just $44. Available for most Sunday through Thursday home games. So stop by your local Price Chopper or go to royals.com/steal-a-deal. Buck Farmer is the new Tiger pitcher. So Jordan Zimmerman, who had been so good against the Royals in his career and very good over his last 7 starts, he gives up 4 runs, 7 hits, and 2 home runs in his 5 innings tonight.
Royals offense finally got to him.
One ball, 1 strike on Bonifacio, who leads off our Sonic Slam inning. Our contestant is Pamela Lukenbill from Harrisonville. If the Royals hit a home run out of the park in this inning, Pamela wins $400. If the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Pamela wins $25 grand from Sonic and the Royals.
Time to give away some more money. Farmer, he'll be tough to elevate. He's got a good hard sinker, heavy. I mean, he's mid-90s, low to mid-90s. He's a sinker cutter type of pitcher, manipulates that fastball slider change. 6'4", 225.
Good rip. 2-2. Bonifacio is struck out and flied out to center field. How are we feeling on our trivia question?
Really good.
Got a heck of a list.
A big list, but I think we will prevail again.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Barry Larkin. That's 1.
Ding, 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 ding.
So 2 more to go. Barry Larkin and Alan Trammell so far. Shortstop since 1980 with 7 or more seasons batting .300 or better. Bonifacio hits it well to right center field. Martin is back. It's over his head and up against the wall. Royals have a leadoff double in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Man, that ball was blistered. Look at that ball. And it wasn't in the middle of the plate. That ball was 3 inches off the outside of the plate. Look at the nice little soft step there. Controls the swing, controls the body, really. And he's able to make it swing compact and go with it with authority. Martin got a good jump on it, but no chance that ball was backspun.
Now Alex Gordon goes up the middle. That ball almost hit the bag. And for the Tigers, fortunately, it did not. Bonifacio goes to 3rd with 1 out.
It's productive. Jeter's got to be in there somewhere in that question. Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter. Correct. Derek Jeter, Barry Larkin, Alan Trammell. 1 more to go.
You like A-Rod?
Well, thinking about the guys who had 3,000 hits, Yount and A-Rod both had 3,000 hits. Now Goodrum with a chance with the infield in and a runner at 3rd and 1 out. What do you think here? Maybe too soon to put a squeeze play on him?
Be interesting to see the way he's swinging the bat. I think I'd let him swing. Just let him go ahead and take a shot.
A guy who just learned the signs, and
yeah,
he said he's swinging the bat well. He's getting his footing. That could be a lot to hang on a guy in his first big league start.
Yeah, I agree with you. Let him swing.
And out to Iglesias, who tried to pick it with a swipe, and the ball came out of his glove. So Goodwin gets the runner home, and the Royals lead 5-0. And they're going to call that an error.
He will get the RBI, and we know he's really good with his glove work and the way he can flip. We saw the magical play last night that he did, but this just off the end of his glove. If it fits more in the pocket, he has it. He makes the pick and probably throws out the runner at home.
Maybe he created that error by trying to do too much with that ground ball.
I think so. I don't know if it's an error or not, though.
Well, that's how it goes down right now. An error 6, and Goodwin gets an RBI. So the official scoring, I guess, figuring that he should have gotten out somewhere on a ground ball like that. Maybe not at the plate.
Yep.
Goodwin flinched and then was able to get back in time.
Farmer is showing some quick feet. Nice move.
There he goes. They pitch out, and the throw is offline, but it led Goodrum right into Goodwin.
Good jump. They definitely smelt a rat. They thought it was coming. They gave McCann, who was already thrown out, talked about 31% of runners. Little peek in there and put the ball right on the right side and got him top of the helmet. Thought that ball was going to leak away, but Goodrum showing some athleticism. Talked about him. What an athlete he was.
Well, while Eski's up there, we should continue our trivia question.
Okay.
I say if you get 3,000 hits, you've had some 300 seasons, right?
Sure you have.
So what do you like, A-Rod or Yount?
Yeah, either one of them.
Robin Yount. Strike 1.
Oh, got a little bit of that. They just kind of pulled it.
Alex Rodriguez. Strike 2. Ooh. All right. I was wrong.
That's okay, though. You were in the ballpark, but I still think my first original name that I dropped might be it, and I hope it is, because we're down to our last strike.
Nomar?
Nomar.
If you're feeling good about it.
I'm liking it. He's batting title winner. He can rake. He can run.
We'll find out. Bonifacio's leadoff double turns into a run. 5-0 Royals to the 7th inning. Home runs tonight. Mike Moustakas, a 2-run shot in the first inning. And then Salvador Perez with 2 down in the 5th. So it's another game for the Royals where they've scored 5 or more runs. They have averaged 5. in now their last 10 games with 13 home runs during that stretch, and have a 5-0 lead tonight for Bert Smith, who is shooting for his first big league win since 2013. Pitch number 77 is outside. There's still nobody warming up in the Royals bullpen. Strike two, Nico Goodrum. Here's his Pizza Ranch for the win pitching line. 6 innings, 1 hit, and 6 strikeouts. 2 balls, 1 strike, and we were talking earlier about he's a unique Rule 5 player and that he's 28 and he had big league experience before this year. 2-2 on Goodrum, who has Tigers' only hit. Smith has set down the last 8 since that Goodrum base hit. So when you have a rookie, and Bert still has rookie status, and you think, man, 6 innings, 6 strikeouts, how about his career highs? Well, his last win for the Padres against the Braves, he went 7 innings and struck out 10.
Whoa. But he definitely has the stuff. And he has some run support tonight, and that's important too, because young pitchers, you know, when they know they're in the game, and they know they have a little lead, now it gives them a little incentive to battle. And you know, Birch has a very smooth wind up, and his deception as he pushes the ball. He has good velocity. All 3 of his pitches are working for him tonight. He's cruising.
This is a historical run of sorts for the Royals. Last night, Keith Philmeyer and Brad Keller combined to be the first rookies, and there's a lot of numbers here. There's a ground ball to Moustakas. Goodrum is out. It might take a while to explain this, but not just in Royals history, but in baseball history. When Heath Philmeyer last night went 6 2/3, gave up 3 hits and struck out 6. That was the first time in Royals history that 2 rookies went at least 6 innings, gave up 3 hits or fewer, and struck out 6 or more. Well, now, if Bert Smith can get through this inning, allowing 2 hits or fewer, no team in Major League history has had 3 rookies go at least 6 innings, allow 3 hits or fewer, and strike out 6 or more in a row.
Wow.
3 rookies in a row.
How about that?
And there's the veteran sitting in between the 2 rookies, Jacob Junis.
Oh man, that's fresh. Good spot there.
Credit Dave Holtzman with that research.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Wow, to be the first ever.
Castellanos is 0 for 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. And now Tim Hill, who's been warming up, he is ready to go. Switch hitters are coming up. Candelario and Martinez. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Bert Smith was available Rule 5, not because of a lack of experience, because of injury. He missed basically 3 seasons. And the Royals are just banking on his recovery. 3 balls, 2 strikes. He basically missed 2014, 15, and 16.
Just gotta love that perseverance. Man, that's a lot of adversity.
A little bit outside for a walk. And that is his first, and it comes with 1 out in the 7th inning. Ned Yost is standing up. Cal Eldred is on the phone, checking on Tim Hill.
Yeah, he didn't miss by much. He looks like he's going pretty good.
Bert Smith in 2014, he injured the ligament that leads to Tommy John, but he rehabbed trying to avoid Tommy John surgery. That cost him a year. The next year in 15, he finally did have Tommy John surgery because it didn't bounce back. And then he fractured what is known as the bone tunnel in 2016. And if you're not familiar with Tommy John surgery, the ligament is wrecked. It won't heal, so they take it out. They transplant another one in there. But in order to thread it in the elbow, they have to drill holes in the bone. So they create a bone tunnel for the new ligament, and he got a fracture of the bone tunnel, so then that had to heal. Wow. And that cost him 3 years.
Ooh.
1-1 on Jamer Candelario.
Sounded like you were in the operating room. That's pretty good explanation.
Yep. That was during my residency.
Good to go. Good explanation. But yeah, I remember him telling me how they discovered he started throwing and his elbows kept hurting him, and he said, you know, we didn't know. We thought something else was going on. And they looked in there, saw it was cracked. And so he goes, oh no, here we go again. So that's a long wait, and you just never know. So this is a real special moment for him tonight. Again, making the most of his opportunity given to him.
This will be his 95th pitch. And now he's starting to miss quite a bit up and away. So before this thing sets up for the Tigers to be able to put together a big inning, this is going to be Smith's last batter. And back-to-back walks with 1 out. But it was a heck of a night for him.
Better believe it.
And what a run. Keller, Philmeyer, and now Smith.
All of the teammates in the infield coming in, slapping Birch on the back. One heck of a job.
And there you go. You want baseball history? You've got baseball history.
Was on his perch. Perch is unbelievable tonight. Look at 6 1/3 innings, just 1 hit. couple of walks, and that was just now. He's kind of running out of gas a little bit. 6 strikeouts, and I'll tell you what, that is answering the call. One nice defensive play by Rosell Herrera. It was sweet. And suck all that in and take up that adulation of the crowd, giving him here at the K, giving him some nice love. Good to see. Now he's going to keep that poker face on as he wants to win this ball game, and he's hoping Tim Hill can help him out.
Chevy called to the bullpen, and he'll move Victor Martinez over to the right side. Martinez has reached on an error and popped out to third. 4 total base runners for the Tigers against Bert Smith in 6 1/3 innings. An error, a single, and now 2 walks in the 7th inning. And as we described last night, this is a double play candidate, to say the least. That is the 3rd highest percentage of grounding into a double play in grounding into a double play situations in baseball.
Okay, they're playing him straight up. Hill sinker slider change.
Just foul. Victor Martinez was part of both of the Tigers' late rallies last night. Tigers scored 2 in the 7th. And Victor Martinez started that with 2 outs and a walk. And then he set up the 3-run 9th with a double. And then his pinch runner came around to score. Squirted foul.
Hill, he's induced 3 ground ball double plays this year. He's got it in him. Get that little sinker there and go away. Victor tries to pull him, they can put him in the lane.
Tough to strike out. He's gone 35 consecutive plate appearances without a strikeout. Right off of Salvi's mask. Victor, a former catcher, knows how that feels, so he turns and checks with his fellow countryman. Home plate umpire Sam Holbrook, who knows how that feels. They're going to give Salvi a little extra time. Both runs or runners are the responsibility for Bert Smith. He got the first out. He got a ground ball from Goodrum, but then Castellanos and Candelario walked. The only 2 walks allowed by Smith.
Well, this is a good situation if you got a guy who doesn't strike out that much and makes contact. And he's hacking. Coming into this season, Martinez, 298 career batting average. 298, almost 300. Switch hitter for a guy that doesn't run and never has run. He's hit every bit of that.
Slice to right and caught, but not by Herrera. Salvador Perez fan who brought his glove. You bet. Hold that thing high in the air.
He wasn't exactly camp, but he outstretched the others. That's awesome. Way to go, sir.
Victor Martinez, you mentioned 298 hitter. He wanted to be on the list of our trivia question tonight. Growing up in Venezuela, all those great shortstops. And when the Indians signed him, they told him that they wanted him to be a catcher, and he wanted to quit because he wanted to be a shortstop. He wanted to be the next Ozzie Guillen. But as the story goes, his father died at the age of 33, so his mom raised 4 kids all by herself and looked her son in the eye and said, "You want to quit? I don't think so."
Nice. Way to go, Mom.
And I'll bet Victor is grateful for that conversation every day of his life. That guy's going to get another chance.
Oh, he
Man!
He had it.
No, different guy. Be careful there. Fan interference.
Oh, man, he had it.
Hey, he's got the bear suit T-shirt. Victor Martinez wanted to be Ozzie Guillen. That guy wants to be Joel Goldberg.
It won't be easy.
Well hit to left field. And gone. Victor Martinez. He hadn't had an extra base hit in 24 games. And he got a double last night, and now he has a 3-run home run tonight. And for the second night in a row, the Tigers won't go away.
Victor waited. That's a changeup. Stayed up. Changeup, and misses. Good at bat. He fouled off plenty. Great hitters do that.
So those runs are charged to Bert Smith. Second night in a row that a Royals starter is charged with a couple of runs that scored after he left the game. So 2 runs on 1 hit and 2 walks in Bert Smith's 6 1/3 innings.
That didn't make Tim Hill feel too good there. Had a good battle going. The changeup just sped up his bat, and he's able to get under it.
He was 0-2. Kevin McCarthy comes on, and he'll pitch to John Hicks, a pinch hitter. Hill just gave up a 3-run home run to Victor Martinez. It was 0-2 and turned out to be a 10-pitch at bat before the 3-run home run. Alan Trammell Derek Jeter, Barry Larkin are 3 of the 4 shortstops since 1980 with 7 or more seasons batting .300 or better. HUD thinks it's Nomar Garciaparra.
We have 2 strikes, by the way. This is it.
This is it. Nomar Garciaparra.
Yes!
We got it.
Ding, 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 ding.
Right at 7 times.
All right. That might have put us in the lead there. I'm not sure. Was it when we tied up last night?
We have a 1-point lead.
For the win.
Deep short. Escobar will set his feet, unload, and just in time to get the pinch hitter Hicks batting for Aducci. So Kevin McCarthy, he pitched an inning and a third scoreless last night. He did allow a couple of inherited runners to score, but having a nice year for the Royals, a 3.57 ERA, including a team leading 9 holds, and opponents are hitting just .235 against him.
It's because he's a ground ball specialist, pitches to contact, and he's fearless. Big time competitor. Sinker, slider, curve change, 4 pitches, attacks hitters, goes right after him.
Royals had a 3-0 lead going into the 7th inning last night. The Tigers got 2 to make it a 1-run game. Tonight they had a 5-0 lead going into the 7th inning. The Tigers have 3. 2-0 on James McCann, who put the Tigers in front in the 9th inning last night, as they scored all 5 of their runs in the last 3 innings and won 5-4. Right to Escobar. So McCarthy comes in. He gets a couple of ground balls. Stretch time at Kauffman Stadium. The Royals are in front by 2.
Royals up 5-3 here, bottom of the 7th inning. Want to try to hold on. Hey, Jayhawk fans, here's your chance to show your KU pride at the K. Join us next month for KU night on Friday, August 24th, before the Royals host the Royal Indians at 7:15 p.m. Purchase your theme ticket to receive the Royals cap featuring a Jayhawk logo and stay after the game to enjoy summer fireworks. Visit Royals.com/theme tickets to purchase.
John Hicks, who batted for Aducci in the 7th inning, stays in at first. And Buck Farmer stays in on the mound. And Hicks is tested right away. He and Witt almost collided. So Witt's 1 for 4 with a double and a run scored, 1 down in the 7th inning. Wow, 25,957 are here tonight.
You don't think our T-shirts had anything to do with that, do you?
No.
But I did not see any sleeping bags rolled up today when I pulled up those, so they did not stay overnight.
Camping out?
No.
To get in early? I was told that the T-shirts were going to be available to the first 10 fans here tonight, but someone entered the numbers in wrong, and they accidentally printed 10,000 T-shirts.
Sweet.
So.
What an honor. Thank you, Royals. That was fun. I do have some numbers that I'd like to share, even though I'm not a numbers guy, but the last T-shirt Tuesday, only 19,000 showed up. I don't want to say anything, and I'm not trying to boast either, but I will brag on the Royals marketing team. Because when we saw those this winter, you know, they sent it to us and asked us what we thought about the pictures. I'm thinking, man, no one's going to come and show up for that. Oh, way to go. But end up having to watch an opportunity to see Birch Smith.
Yep, and a nice night.
Yeah.
Could be a lot hotter this time of year. And a well-played Royals game.
So far, we'll just hang in there. See if the pin can finish. Pin to win.
The Royals have hit 2 home runs tonight. Mike Moustakas hit a 2-run shot in the first inning for his 20th of the year. He's driven in 2. Salvador Perez has driven in 2, and Brian Goodwin, the newest Royal, has driven in a run. That's inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Royals scored 4 of their 5 runs against Jordan Zimmerman, and then they got a run against Farmer in the 6th. Two and 1.
He's trying to get Moose out inside. Better be careful not missing there. Moose is on the loose.
Out to Goodrum in shallow right. Inning over to the 8th. Royals lead 5-3.
Jeff Montgomery, pretty similar to last night in terms of pitching. How about Birch Smith?
Yeah, Birch Smith really did a nice job following up the other young guys on the hill to start the ball game. Now looking for the bullpen to finish it up.
All right, we'll have plenty on that here from Ned Yost, Jeff Montgomery analysis, and maybe we'll even talk about the T-shirts. I heard that they were in such high demand that people are wanting to buy them because they ran out. Guys, back to you.
Hey, well, I have a little pile of them up here. We can sell them. I don't think so. Thanks, Joe. We'll be tuning in. I want to hear from Birch Smith. That's how we can, by listening to that post-game show.
McCarthy stays on for the 8th. He got 2 ground balls to close out the Tigers in the 7th. That sinker had good tilt on it. 0-2 on Iglesias. Then the number 9 hitter Jacoby Jones, followed by Leonis Martin. Another ground ball. Moustakis throws him out, 1 away. Tigers have 2 hits tonight. 2 hits in 7 1/3, but 1 happens to be a 3-run home run.
MLB At Bat is your #1 Royals app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Royals home screen icons and features such as the MLB TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today. Ooh, and that's a good-looking pitch. That's why he's inducing a lot of ground balls. Is that sinker? Last minute, the hitter sees it. He thinks it's going to be barreled, but he hits the top of the ball instead of directly on the barrel. Ground ball, big leaguers on the left side of the infield. Most shortstops make those plays 10 out of 10 times. You can hustle all the way down to first base and make it bang bang, but you're out. That's the name of the game on defense. Make the plays. Rosie got some Trevor turf on him tonight in right field, making a nice play for Birch Smith.
And now he's adjusting in right field with 2 strikes on the hitter. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Thinking that a hitter like Jones with 2 strikes might shorten up and not take a full swing. So oftentimes the center fielder and off outfielder will come in a few strides. Close. 3-2 on Jones.
Ooh, man, that's really close. Jacoby's having a nice season. 18 doubles, 4 triples, 7 homers. He's got some pop.
McCarthy is retired all 4 he has faced. 2 down in the 8th, and Jones has the hat trick tonight.
Yep, staying under the barrel.
Well, that's some wicked movement.
Sure is.
Joe Jimenez getting ready for the bottom of the 8th, and the Royals will have Perez, Duda, and Bonifacio. Leonis Martin is 0 for 3. One hop to Witt. McCarthy gets the job done tonight and sends the game to the bottom of the 8th, with the Royals still ahead by 2. Tim Hill had a rough night. He faced one batter and gave up a 3-run home run to Victor Martinez. But Kevin McCarthy picked him up. McCarthy faced 5 and retired 5. And the Royals have 3 outs to go on defense to even up this series. Remember, if you can't catch a game on TV, you can stream games live on your mobile device. Download the Fox Sports Go app, log in, and stream the Royals.
I like that phrase you just used. Picked him up. He picked him up. That's a big, important phrase in the game of baseball. Pick him up. Whatever you got to do. Your buddy couldn't do it. You do it for him.
Joe Jimenez comes on for the 48th time for the Tigers. And Salvador Perez, man, he has been on it all night. And the Tigers in the outfield were playing him the other way. That was just a line drive to left field, but it goes all the way to the fence. And Salvi has 3 hits. He is a triple shy of the cycle. Huh?
Ooh, that would be nice. Plus, it would bring some money to the Urban Academy. That ball was blistered. Had to be over 100 hit. That's a couple of line drives to left field that Salvi has just barreled. I mean to tell you.
He is lined to center, singled to right, homered to left, and doubled to left. He has used the whole field tonight.
Totally locked in. Jimenez, he loves his fastball, 93 to 98. Got a good slider and a change.
Second big league season, Jimenez. His 48 appearances lead the Tigers. McCann. He's had one great stop after another in the first 2 games of the series. Something Salvador Perez can appreciate. Although we just showed Salvi with all his gold gloves. He's probably more impressed now with what he did at first base last night. And Iglesias also had a flashy play. So I'll bet they're talking infield defense.
No question.
2-2 on Duda.
But I've always been impressed with McCann. You know, he's their future catcher. And yet last night when he backed up, played down first base, he ran to third base and backed up. And when I talked to him today, I said, you know, you were all over the diamond last night, and you were picking balls behind the plate. He goes, that was a tough night for you. And he told me, that's my job. So he really appreciates the opportunity he's getting. And he gives it all he's got. That's what Salvi does too. These guys know that can't look back, and tomorrow's not guaranteed.
Got him with a pitch away. So Perez is at second base with 1 out. And there's Willie Peralta getting ready for the 9th inning, hoping for a refreshing save from Price Chopper and Aquafina. Sign up at mypricechopper.com/saves to save on Aquafina when the Royals get a save, which Peralta got 2 in the Minnesota series. Pitching in 3 straight games for the first time in his career, so he was not available last night in a game where the Tigers rallied for 3 in the 9th. Bonifacio went around on appeal to Jim Wolf, the first base umpire. Bonifacio has chipped in tonight with a double and a run scored. Blocked by McCann, who went to college not far from here. He's out of the University of Arkansas, where he caught, among others, Dallas Keuchel, Drew Smiley, who also played with the Tigers, and Brett Eibner, who was drafted as an outfielder by the Royals, but he also pitched at Arkansas and signed with the Tigers by former Wichita State star Chris Wimmer, and a longtime scout with the Tigers.
McCann showing some nice hands again with those picks.
Two and two. Got it with a slider down and away. So after the leadoff double, Jimenez has struck out the last two. Tonight's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals. They may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Club. Ryan Lefevre, Rex Hudler, with Joel Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery. Our director, Steve Kurtenbach. Producer, Kevin Cedergren. Associate producers, Al Broughton, Sam Abramson, Dave Holtzman. And the producer of Royals Live is Casey Carter. Alex Gordon is 0 for 3. He's hit 2 balls hard tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. He has been at odds, to say the least, with home plate umpire Sam Holbrook, and now he is so upset with that last call, he's amused by it.
Yep, it's a little bit off the plate.
One and two.
First pitch to Alex. A little bit outside.
Sam Holbrook is the crew chief. Good thing he didn't call that one a strike.
Well, I
might have had to call 911.
Yeah, he might have tossed him out, but 2 strikes. Anything a little closer than that, better be swinging. You don't want to get called.
Got him with a fastball. So a leadoff double, and then Jimenez ends up striking out the next 3. So the Royals take a 2-run lead into the 9th inning. It'll be Willie Peralta with the 2, 3, and 4 hitters coming up.
Xfinity is brought to you by Ford. Going further so you can. It is 5-3 Royals. The Royals at one point led 5-0. Tigers got all 3 of the runs on one swing in the 7th inning. A 3-run home run by Victor Martinez. There's our Pepsi fan of the game with his World Series champion and autographed by several Royals cap and his Ryan and Rex t-shirt.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Willie Peralta is 4 out of 4 in save opportunities. He was not able to finish a save opportunity on Friday against Minnesota. Brandon Maurer had to come in and bail him out, but it was not a blown save for him. And at least the strike zone is going both ways. That pitch appeared to be outside to Goodrum, but it's strike one. Goodrum, Castellanos, Candelario coming up. And if anybody gets on, Victor Martinez, who has the 3-run home run.
Peralta, he's got good stuff. Mid-90s, maybe a little bit a tick above with his fastball, curve, and a change. There it was. Changeup finished him off.
3 pitches, 1 out.
Let me see. It looked like that might have been his hook. Let's see. Yep, that's what that did. Especially when you start a guy off with a mid-90s fastball, then you finish him with that, and he's looking heater. Tricked him.
Nicholas Castellanos with 1 down. Look out. Castellanos is 0 for 2 tonight. He is 0 for 6 in the series, but he did walk with 1 out in the 7th. Then Candelario walked, and then Martinez hit the 3-run home run. One ball, 1 strike. Tigers won last night, coming from behind, but playing away from Detroit has been a problem for them this year. They have lost 14 of their last 18 road games. Two and 1. 98.
Good velo. Kind of like Minnesota, they were scuffling a little bit on the road as well. So you know the Royals, they're obviously they're playing a good brand of baseball right now. It's nice to see. They're some good starting pitching. They're scoring 4 more runs, and the spectacular defense is there.
Royals fired up the Twins. They went to Toronto and they won the first 2 games of that series.
I noticed that. I was watching them. They
won each game by 5 runs. 2 and 2. That's drilled deep left center field. Castellanos can run, and he's digging for third. So the tying run will come to the plate with 1 out in the 9th inning.
Whew, man, he didn't mess around there. 104 exit velocity off that bat, left center field gap. It was a no doubter. I mean, he knows it right away. See a little takeaway. Let's look, kind of a little toe tap there with his left foot. Get a little action going with his hips. Nice hands right through the zone.
Castellanos, of all players, led the league in triples last year. He had 10.
Plays in a nice triples park. That's for sure. The way he hits the ball, he normally is inside out and going the opposite field.
Fouled back on a high off-speed pitch to Jeimer Candelario. Peralta's fortunate that that was hit into the screen.
ball, 1 strike. The Royals' lead last night was 4-2 in the 9th inning, and Detroit scored 3. Now Peralta is trying to nail down a 2-run lead in the 9th inning tonight. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Want to be missing up there.
Salvi senses that Peralta might be fighting it.
See him tapping that left shoulder there. Says, keep that shoulder, keep it tucked in there, aiming right for me. Stay on top.
Three and 1. Victor Martinez is on deck. That's a break. That was ball 4. And a good call there. I mean, you figure 3 and 1, a guy struggling to throw strikes, and he's going to go with his fastball. But Salvi and Peralta were 1 step ahead.
Yep, that was a guess swing all the way. Can't afford to put him on with Victor. Victor's starting to heat up a little bit. Challenge him. There you go.
Tigers get a run. The Royals get an out. Now I'm going to make a prediction here, Hud.
Okay.
Victor Martinez has hurt the Royals twice in this series. He had gone 24 games without an extra base hit. He was a scuffling hitter coming into last night's game. But he hit a big double last night. He has hit a 3-run home run tonight, both on off-speed pitches. I'm going to predict that Willie Peralta is not going to mess around with Victor Martinez.
Okay. Hopefully he puts the ball down and away and out of his wheelhouse.
Just under 26,000 are here tonight. 97 miles an hour. Martinez has never faced Willie Peralta.
All 3 pitches just like that. Put it right there every time.
Another fastball.
Well, your prediction might be right. Because when you throw those change-ups, soft pitches, you know, sometimes that just speeds the bat up, and that's a lot of truth to that. Especially for an aging hitter.
Off speed, but he put it in a spot where Martinez couldn't do anything with it. .233 hitter with a .316 slugging percentage, Victor Martinez, but he's had 2 big extra base hits in this series. Fouled away. Go with the fastball in, and it was in. 98 miles an hour. foul.
Trying to mix in a few changeups in there, Rhino, but it's off the plate. Mix in that changeup every so often, make that heater look good. But Victor, you talked about hard to strike out. You want him to make some contact down. Salvy's saying, all right, let's get him low.
Salvy's making sure that Victor's not peeking, and now they're going to go to the slider. Right center field, and Herrera is there to end the game. So the Tigers made it interesting again, but they fall a run short. And the Royals even the series at 1 game apiece. And the Royals have won 5 of their last 7 games. And Bert Smith gets his first victory in 5 seasons. Got to go back to September of 2013, the last time Bert Smith was a winning pitcher, and Ned Yost has gotten 3 excellent starts from rookies in a row.
Good for him. And great to see Birch on his perch. Congratulations. That's fantastic. A great job. Good tempo. All 3 pitches were working for him. Nicely done. The run support was there. And most importantly, it gives Ned Yost and the team a chance to win a series tomorrow.
Which would be their 2nd winning series against the Tigers this year. So RBIs tonight for Mike Moustakas, Salvador Perez, and the newest Royal, Brian Goodwin, standing by with Joel.
Yeah, and Brian, a part of the offense and the defense here tonight. I think I said to you before the game, how's your first night in Kansas City coming off of the bench? You said great. Opportunity. What was this like to get out here and start for your new team?
Tonight was even better. It's unmatched to come out here and have the support and have the fans going crazy tonight, and ultimately we got to win.
What is it like coming into a new team? You told me yesterday that you really didn't know anyone as you looked around the room. Now, how familiar are you with your new teammates?
We got to.
Brian's almost all the way to second base now. Nobody told you about that, did they?
Oh, man, where's my warning?
Sorry. It's Salvador Perez's world, and we are all living in it. Now you know your teammates a little bit better, but just take us through that experience. A lot of times guys know each other in baseball, but you switch leagues and you're looking around. What's that process like?
You just go in there and you just feed off the energy of the clubhouse. This team seems to have great energy. Everybody seems upbeat. Everybody's having a great time at the park. Man, we're just happy to be here and playing in front of these fans.
Last thing for you, and I think it's an interesting observation. You come in, the team is playing good ball. It's been a struggle this year, but you mentioned the energy too. Just describe that a little bit more and what you're feeling suddenly being a part of it. You're an energy guy yourself, and how you feel like you fit in.
This is great, man. You can't ask for anything better. A bunch of guys that love to play hard, and come out and give their all every day. To be a part of that, you can't ask for anything else.
We're looking forward to many more moments and many more of these, and we'll see if you can dodge it the next time. Welcome officially to Kansas City.
Thank you. Thank you.
There you go. Big smile and a fun time for Brian Goodwin. I think once he's had his Salvi splash, he knows. You know, Mike Swanson was trying to take his glove so it wouldn't get wet, and he thought, why? Now he knows.
And apparently, Joel, your job was to give him a warning. I guess in Washington you get a warning when you get doused. Not here. And it never felt so good. Royals win it 5-4.